In 2005, I was going from Minnesota to Oregon, and I had Sophie's address in Boise, Idaho. And I went and drove by Sophie's house. Oh, I stayed the night. Stayed the night in a hotel in Boise, and then the next morning I had her address, and I went to this community. It was a very high end community, and I stayed by her house. And I looked. I was trying to get a glimpse of Sophie or the kids, which my daughter would have been maybe 6 at the time. And it was a beautiful house, and this was after my mother had asked me not to contact Sophie. I think my mother gave me bad advice here. I think I should have contacted Sophie. But my mother thought that it wouldn't be the best for my kids, which Sophie's daughter is my kid. And now my kids don't really have anything to do with me anyway. They have no desire. Well, at least I don't know their desire. They don't put out any effort to be involved with me. They've never called me ever, other than when they wanted something, mostly speaking about Talon. They've never called me on Father's Day, Christmas, my birthday. I don't, and again, I addressed this in an earlier video. I don't blame these kids. I can't blame these kids. They know that. They fully know that. I'd love to be involved with their lives now. They have chosen an easier path. I'm good. I'm not good with that, because I'd be lying to say that I'm good with that. What I'm going to say is I understand that. They're good kids. Their mother, Melanie, of course, just a fantastic, fantastic person. Back to Sophie. I have some major regrets about how this all went down with Sophie. Sophie knows the story. Thad knows the story, but Thad's gonna die soon. So that story's gonna die with Thad. Justice is still alive. He knows the story. But I know the story. Sophie knows the story. Well, Sophie knows the entire story, like of how we met and our relationship. I remember a lot about Sophie. She's very tall. She's 6'2", taller than me. Just incredible body, incredible person, incredible mind. And I'd like to meet my daughter. More than that, more than liking to meet my daughter, I'd like to leave my entire estate to Sophie's oldest daughter. Period. And if it turns out that Sophie's oldest daughter is not my daughter, I'd still like to leave my entire estate to Sophie's oldest daughter. I feel like that's, my kids, they don't care or need or have any want to be tied to me at all. Whoever Sophie's oldest daughter's father is or family is deserves that as much as anyone. I talked about mistakes in an earlier video. one of my biggest regrets of how I dealt with when Sophie called me and told me that she was pregnant. And then I had no way to emotionally deal with that. And then when I talked to her later, which I only talked to her one time since then, and she told me that she was not pregnant. Did I believe her? No, I didn't believe her. But I didn't have the tools to deal with all that. I mean, I guess at this point I still don't. I have Sophie's information and her kids' information, her husband's information somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it. The regrets, you know. The other thing is when I was at that house in Boise in 2005, that beautiful house, I thought, what do I have to offer here, you know? And that's the other thing is, what do I have to offer? I mean, not only my kids, but Sophie's oldest daughter. What do I have to offer as a father? I was so abused as a child by Arthello that I didn't really come up with a way to love. I want to love my brothers and sisters. I want to love, but I wasn't able to have that connection to people. It's not that I didn't want to. And when I was younger, I didn't realize I didn't have that. And so now it's 2023. It's January 2023, January 18th. And, as I look back at my life, it feels like a lost life. Even though so many people showed me so much love, I wasn't able to really love them back. And certainly my children, I haven't been able to love back. And certainly Sophie's daughter doesn't even maybe know that I'm her father. She might possibly know that her father's not her father. She might possibly know that. But she definitely doesn't know that I'm her father. So maybe if she ever finds this, or at least my brothers and sisters will know this is out there, and know that I want my entire estate to go to Sophie's oldest daughter. And if I'm passed, I want it to go to Sophie's oldest daughter, whether this can be shown through whether this can be shown or not. And it's going to be easy enough to figure out, you know. I mean, there's those tools out there. I hope that before I pass, I'm not figuring on going anytime soon, but I'm feeling old for my 57 and a half years. 2 new hips. I feel like Grandpa Gleed. You know, Grandpa Gleed, he was old. He lived to be old. that dirty bastard, that smoking, drinking bastard, who I love with all my heart, and I shouldn't call him a bastard. Maybe I'll edit that part out. Certainly, I don't feel that way. He has my utmost respect. I think he's one of the most incredible people that ever walked this earth. Wow. This has turned into a long video when I was mostly wanting to talk about Sophie and Sophie's oldest daughter. I know this means nothing to most of all of you, but I would like my entire estate to go to Sophie's oldest daughter. This is the only thing that makes sense to me. I need to do more to try to find her before I pass. Or at least find Sophie and ask Sophie if her oldest daughter wants to know who I am. This is how do you sort all this out? My mother, who I love and respect, told me not to reach out and not to tell my kids. I felt that was wrong, and I think that now that my mother has passed, I think she would feel it was wrong. Oh boy. What do you do? I love you all.